Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
We are live.
We are live today. Glenn, do you want to move the camera just a little bit over?
I'm just going to scoot this a bit. And I am definitely
and
going
turn
to
off.
turn that down.
Yes, thank you for that.
I just want to make sure that the feed is going so we don't have the same issues we had last week.
Yeah. So, we launched our most captivating video yet. If you have not had a chance to watch it, by all means, this is going to be like a spoiler of epic proportions here.
This is the one we've been dying to talk about.
Yeah, this is the one that we've been like absolutely dying to talk about because it has been the most captivating is not even the word for this.
Here's the problem. I think what you're trying to say is because we've reviewed this probably about 1,400 times.
Yeah.
I'm being hyperbolic by saying that. Every single time we go through it,
not.
I know we have reviewed this video a lot. Every single time we've gone through it, you just keep coming up with more stuff that we keep catching. And what's driving me nuts is when I was rewatching it again today, and I swear there's like 2 or 3 other things that we still missed on.
Even when I was editing the video yesterday,
yeah, she caught a few other things.
I caught more.
Yeah.
And I sat and mind you, we did watch this several times. I would say.
Watched it several times, enhanced the brightness, lower the brightness,
right.
Bring up the audio so we can hear it clearer.
We probably watched that video a total of, realistically, 25 times.
Yeah, and when was the investigation? April
17th.
17th. I know on the 18th we watched part of it, which was the day after, and then the following week we watched that video. We're like, well, this one is a great video. Let's go and see what we caught on the other ones earlier in the night because we wanted to kind of release it in sequence.
Right. And we were up in the air about how we were going to launch this video because there is so much evidence. I don't think we went 20 seconds without actual evidence of like intelligent responses. And that in itself is super unheard of.
I think the longest time frame was like 1 minute, the 1 minute and 50 second mark to like 3:15.
Right, and that's like the beginning of the video. And then after that 3:15 mark, it was literally just knocking it out of the park. I mean, there were times that we had, after every single second, there was another intelligent response.
You know how we're excited about this? We skipped our intro.
Oh my god! We really did. So, I guess we could do our intros.
We have intros?
We are really excited. And unfortunately, Jesus, our other team member who was on that investigation, is not here with us tonight. So Glenn, kick us off with your introduction. Jesus.
Yeah, so I'm the skeptic. None of this is real. And
for now.
No, I'm just kidding. No, skeptic for, yeah. You think I'm not going to be a skeptic for long, but that's
November.
fine. Yeah, I am the argumentative one on the team. I have not only a lot of fun doing that, but, you know, my wife yells at me constantly when that's an orb. No, it's not an orb. Yes, it is an orb. No, it's dust. Right, love?
Yeah, but when you say it's an orb, and then I have to be like, no, it's dust.
I asked if it was
the
an orb.
tables literally turn in such a quick fashion.
In the words of Michael Scott, oh, how the turn have tables.
Well, so when we were reviewing this video, Glenn says, that's an orb. And I said, no, it's dust. And then I went about what I was doing, and I'm like, wait a minute. What?
Yeah, no, hold on a second. Here's a series of events. I'm sitting here writing stuff down in our book, and I caught something in the corner of my eye, and I asked, was that an orb? Because I just saw a bright flash. But yeah, it turned out to be dust. Other than the actual orb that was in the video. So
I think the greatest part of that was we were dumbfounded, didn't know what to say. Glenn's just like, what?
Yeah, so go ahead.
So I'm Emily. I am the indigo child of the group. I am also incredibly sensitive, which comes with the indigo territory. I met Tyler through a Facebook post. Didn't know if he was going to slaughter me and then cut me up into different pieces. I mean, there was a long time that we had another team member that thought he was a serial killer. So, realistically, it was not far off.
Jury's still out on that.
Jury is way out on that. Anyway.
I'm here every day and I didn't make any kind of attempt.
Anyway, so Tyler and I met through a Facebook post where he was asking if anybody was interested in ghost hunting. And of course I popped in and I was super interested. But I am excited to go down this path with Spectral Realm. I think we've got a big road ahead of us, investigation-wise too. Investigation-wise, we are pretty much booked for the entire year. I think August and December are the only 2 months that we don't have anything booked right now. Mm-hmm. And that can change on a dime. So I'm going to pass this to Tyler.
Just to add a caveat to that too, we're starting to get smaller mini investigations in between our big planned ones too, which is really good. So if you're local and we could travel to you, you want your house investigator, you have some questions that we can try to answer for you, we are starting to book dates for that as well too, just so people are aware of that.
Also, quick shameless plug, our website is now available. You can visit us at spectralrealminvestigators.net. That is up and running. If you want to contact us that way, you can by all means go to our contact page, put in your information, and it sends us a little note.
Who does that go to? Like
all of us.
Okay.
Yep. All right, Tyler, go ahead.
We got sidetracked like 3 more times because
we really did. Yeah.
We're not excited. Anyway, I'm Tyler, the leader and the founder. I found everybody on this team, and fortunately also found everyone who's not on the team. But
yeah, we won't talk about that.
Yeah, we're gonna
trials and tribulations and learning experiences. Lessons learned.
I mean, it's kind of crazy to think 3 years ago, like we met and we're like, we're gonna do this, and then something always prevented it from kind of going.
Well, I mean, October of 2019 was when we had the first investigation. Do I have the date correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then COVID happened. Which
screwed us.
Nobody wants you in buildings
rapidly.
Throughout that entire thing. They were waiting everybody to either get vaccinated or, wait for, basically for the pandemic to die down. And then it just happened to be perfect when you messaged us, 2.5 months ago?
March 8th.
Yeah. Hey, guys. I might be able to book a date for the Conjuring house. And I immediately replied, do it. Let's do it.
And I mean, we've been finding places left and right to investigate. It's, it was just that catalyst that kind of pushed us into going to all of these different locations. I mean, again, if you go to our website, spectralrealminvestigators.net, you can go to our upcoming investigations page, and it'll show you everything that we have planned thus far.
And past investigations, and it'll bring you right to the stories, or has it worked?
It brings you right to the YouTube page.
Yeah, but
for that playlist, right?
Yeah, playlist, thank you.
Playlist or the video itself. But we only have 3 videos up, 4 now, plus all of the lives get added to that as well.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really it. Big things are coming.
Big things are coming.
Big
things.
Very, very
we love foreshadowing, if anybody's not noticed
and
that.
Teasers. And I wanted to show this before you reminded us of, hey, guys, calm down. You forgot the intros. Nobody's going to be able to read my handwriting, so I can show this. So this is what, a book of notes looks like for just this video we released yesterday.
Yeah.
Timestamps, what had happened, I think, it goes 4 pages deep. And that's only 16-minute videos. And as we go through all of our videos, every single video has notes, timestamps, and everything of that nature. I'm not going to give away basically how we do reviews, but...
Well, I mean, they got a sneak peek of that on the TikTok the other night.
Right.
That was cool, though. Alright, so... The sneak peek to the TikTok, I'm not really going to elaborate on that, but that's going to tie into a piece of footage we thought was useless that ended up being useful.
Right. Because we have to tie in a couple videos, a couple EVPs and things like that.
Yeah, that one's going to be an editing lesson for us.
Right.
Which I'm excited to do, because I know that program we use can do a whole bunch of TV
marketing.
I
mean, so for those of you who don't know, we actually use all of Adobe's product for our editing, our EVPs, and all that kind of stuff. I think the Audition is actually more powerful than the program that you use. Because I think it's made specifically for audio
It's made
enhancement.
to do that, yes.
Right.
But because I know the production software, I can do everything that we do in the Audition.
Right.
It's just easier to have the one machine
to
doing it all.
So we use Adobe for everything. We use it for, everything. And
we're not sponsored by Adobe.
We are not sponsored, but if you guys want to... Yeah. Adobe, if you want to hit us for the $89 a month that I spend, that would be
help
pretty
us out. No,
pretty phenomenal. I'll plug you all day, every day. I'll get Adobe tattooed on my body if you want to do it that way. So let's get back into this video.
This video has Glenn's favorite moment from the whole investigation, doesn't it?
I think Glenn is getting a favorite moment from each of our videos.
So I'm having a hard time tracking favorite moments in here. So for me as a skeptic, I love puzzles. I love things I can't figure out because it's intriguing and it challenges my intellect. I'm going to start with, early on in the video, that freaking orb that dances around the wall. That's not tied to the camera movement.
It literally
the camera's
flips
moving at a different.
around.
Yeah, it's moving differently than the camera. It starts on the wall where the window is and it moves over, so it's not something coming in from the window.
And side note, we dismissed that at first as being an IR reflection.
Yeah.
And when we actually zoomed in and really paid attention to it and brought the brightness up, holy cow, it was a literal flip-flopping orb, which is very rare because they usually
Didn't it disappear midair too?
Yes,
It
it
did.
did. It appeared
right
in
over
midair.
Jesus' head.
Right.
Which dismisses it as an insect.
Right.
Because it wouldn't have just oofed.
Listen, I will fight you guys with dust and insects all day. That was not an insect. That thing was riding the wall.
I love when he says it's an orb.
And here's
it just
the thing.
Makes me so
I'm
happy.
carefully, like, my hands are in my pockets. I'm looking out the window. Tyler's looking over at Jesus, or kind of in Jesus' direction. He's got nothing in his hands that would reflect any kind of light. There's no light source aimed at Tyler or yourself. You're sitting in a chair. Nobody's hands are moving. And we all know how if you have a flashlight or something, it can reflect off of a phone screen or even like our watches or something like that.
There was
I love that because I can't figure out where the source is coming from.
I mean, and we tried debunking everything. Was there a car passing the window? Was this happening? Was that happening? But the way that it not just flip-flopped, but it changed its shape through the air, which was weird. It almost looked pear-shaped, like an elongated pear, with how it was kind of like flip-flopping through the air.
It kind of looked like a puzzle piece to me.
That could be,
Like jigsaw puzzle piece.
Absolutely. So,
and not to mention, as that one's doing its little fun dance along the wall, there was something that came out of your back, looped out of screen, came up your legs.
yes.
And then went right by this outlet and then went straight up in the air.
Yeah.
Nothing travels like that.
No, nothing does. And that's where we can justify if something's dust, a bug, or actually an orb. So when you see something make a sharp turn, and then go straight up with no like meander up, it's just a straight shot. Obviously, you're gonna look at something that's supernatural or out of the ordinary, I guess would be the best way to say it, right? Without
There's a lot of things.
Right?
Like,
So-
you could really...
And because I'm trying to go off of memory, I am going to reference my notes from what we were doing here because I do.
Well, you're the only one that can read your notes, so that's...
So
That's why they're my notes. I write in my own language.
I do want to ask you something because I know for a while, when you first heard, "I'll touch her," and then it touched Emily, I know that was amongst your top.
Oh, you're jumping way ahead. You're like 13 minutes into the video.
Well,
What touched? Because it happened twice.
we're hitting top moments here.
Okay.
And I know that was a moment that you absolutely loved for the longest time because it said what it was going to do and then it did it.
All right. We're so yes, as we were doing multiple reviews, that was my favorite moment. What ended up turning into my favorite sequence of moments ends with that. Actually, no, it carries on for still a few seconds after.
It goes after that now.
Because we caught a few other things. So, I mean, here's where the madness comes in. What we were hearing through the spirit box for me goes well beyond coincidence. If it was one thing that happened to sound like it says, "I'll touch her," and then she ends up reacting to being touched in the video.
And it wasn't just Tyler and I reacting at first, or just me reacting. Tyler and I like snapped our head to the right and was like, or left, and was that?
Right, and here's even the craziest thing is, in the moment, a lot of that stuff we were not catching. We caught a lot of stuff that was coming through, and we were able to repeat, but some of that stuff flew underneath the radar, and it was either inaudible to us, or just because you got that spirit box, it's kind of hard to hear some of that come through.
Right.
And here's where I'm going to admit that there's a lot of activity that's kind of hard to explain. Right before any of that stuff comes in, stop grinning between the two of you. I can see in my peripheral vision. So, we really have to start from downstairs and go up to this. I mean, I'm going to elaborate on this.
Okay, so do it.
But you really want me to do all the talking? All right.
I'm not saying do all the talking.
Well, I mean, we could start.
Yeah,
we could start from the beginning.
Because the reason I'm getting touched on that is because right before or as it's telling us or requesting that we go upstairs, who's it start basically requesting?
Oh yeah, no, I was requested 4 or 5 times.
Your name came up multiple times.
Yeah, it was like Emily.
Multiple times.
Okay, so the fact
There
is,
she is.
we don't know why we didn't pick up on it the second when we were in there. Because we were listening, like we were quiet enough to just hear what was going on. And we didn't hear my name being called. So when we started walking up the walking towards the door to go upstairs, I mean, Emily just came out as a fucking, I'm so bad. It came up as a surprise that I was requested so much.
So here's the thing. Right as we saw the orbs, it was about, our notes say 1:57, but I know we added the intro and the music and stuff to the video. That skews it a few seconds. But
maybe 1:47.
Right.
What had happened is we're in there for like not even 2 minutes when the video started. We got these orbs that are both, hey, collecting a little activity or whatever they were up to. And that one that went across the wall, it's almost like kind of like a precursor. Like they were already going out of the room to go get ready upstairs for whatever reason. And then suddenly, I love the crap-eating grin that was on your face when this happens. Do you want us upstairs? You asked it. And it goes, that's right. And we all heard that in real time.
Yes, we did.
And we were like,
yeah, we did it. I was gone.
We were like, let's go. We were like, that's right. And Tyler's like, all right, I guess we're going upstairs. And he was
Everyone else is still sitting like, what?
So right after it says that's right, just 2.5 seconds, what's the first thing it starts? The next request is bring Emily.
Yo, I was sitting here
Actually, like kind of thinking back on it, it says bring Emily. Who was the one that wanted to go up the least?
me.
She literally made a statement in the beginning that I don't know about that 3rd floor.
Yep.
And I had every right. I have every right not to want to go to that 3rd floor ever again. Watching that video and getting the evidence was legitimately bringing me back, like, PTSD to the 3rd floor. The 1st floor and the 2nd floor, no big deal. But the 3rd floor was a complete...
Second you hit that last step.
Yeah, it changed. Yeah, it felt like I got hit with a wall.
Well, let me run through this sequence of events. Bring Emily.
Yep.
Tyler he's walking leave that room to go towards the 3rd door, and he hears something. He thought it said me,
right,
which is very close near Ryan to Emily. When you listen to the video, it says Emily.
Well, the only reason, like, the first thing, like, me, was because I'm like, it's absolutely freezing here. Like, I'm cold. And then it said me. Like, I heard me.
Right.
So I'm like, are you, like, trying to tell me that I'm cold? Like...
And then it repeats her name a few seconds later, 11 seconds later. As you're going upstairs with the spirit box, something jumps in, going up. And we all caught on to that and all said, going up at the same time.
And then I had that dumb smirk I do. I'm like, yes we are.
You had that it's game time baby face on. And the second we get to the landing, you watch Emily, you cross over the landing, she goes up, Danny's got the camera, he's looking a little to the left of the stairwell, and something low and cold just says, it's Emily.
But when it said going up, like, no one prompted it to say anything. We were
right,
literally
it's like
just
they were
going
walking
upstairs.
up with us,
Yeah.
which was That was chilling. That was, as cool as it was at the moment, it was definitely chilling. I can say, honestly, like I said a few minutes ago, when you got up to that third floor, it was like you got hit with a bag of bricks and everything was on super high emotion. You were reacting purely primal at that point.
Yeah, your senses were going nuts up
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were left and right, and when we turned left to go towards the kids' room and the darkest room, I call it the dark room, which was next to the kids' room.
That room it was shadowy.
It was super shadowy for no reason too. You would think that the kids' room with only one window would be far darker than the window with two windows. Yeah. So when we asked what side do you want us to go to, we didn't hear it at the time say left. We went right, which probably was a very defining moment.
That's where my gut told me to go. So that's
And
where
no,
I
I agree with you. So we went to the right, and I'm so mad that we didn't get what actually happened to me. But when I was standing next to the door,
Yeah, just in time for that instance to happen.
the
You
camera
were in frame, and then
right.
the camera went off off to the right, and just missed it.
So for those of you who didn't watch the video yet, again, it's spoiler time. Sorry.
Yeah, and if you haven't guessed, now's a good time to go.
Yeah, now's
and
a good
watch
time,
the video
and
if
then
you're
come
getting
back to our life.
spoilers and
Right.
We
things
have
like
3
that.
viewers. Easy. Let's let the viewers
No, I'm just saying, if this is enticing enough from what they're hearing,
Yeah,
it's
they wanna-
it's well worth watching the video
Right.
later.
Yeah, I agree.
So it grabbed at the base of my hair right here and ripped me back. I still don't understand how I didn't react more than I did. But I think, like, in the back of my mind, I knew that if I didn't get back into professional, things were going to get far worse.
Well, that's the biggest for me, and I know you guys poke fun at me at this because I'm the least reactionary on site. Other than, when Jesus is playing evidence in the middle of a review, then I'm like, what was that? Just poking fun, buddy. Anyway, yeah, it's like, it's like something happened. Investigate first, react second.
Right. I mean, I did react and got really upset at first. First of all, let me put this out there. I don't like being touched. Even as a human-to-human contact. Ask Glenn. We sleep in a king-size bed. He is on one side, I am on the other. You do not cross my line. You do not touch me. You do not breathe on me. You don't do anything.
Well, I'm also an MMA fighter in my sleep, so
that too.
That's a good reason for distance, too.
So I'm not one to be like, oh, let's go cuddle on the couch. Not me, by any means. So when I am being touched by something unseen, I can tell you for sure I am 100% not okay with that situation. So when it grabbed my hair and ripped me back into a door, I was just like, hold on, guys. We need to have a serious discussion on what okay and what is not okay. I'm not giving safe words to do this investigation. Like, that's not gonna happen. What's so crazy though, we review this video and we hear them telling, we're gonna touch her.
Do it.
Right?
Well, that was later, but yeah, I mean, right up until you got pulled into the door, and we're all like, I curse a few times. We're all like,
there's a lot of bleeping in that scene, guys.
like holy shh, right? We all do that, and then the camera's on you, the only female in the group at the time,
and you hear it mocking me,
and you hear a female voice mimic you and say holy shh, but it was in her voice. And you can clearly see
and I'm not
your mouth
moving
is
my
not
mouth.
open, your mouth is not moving, nothing, and it just comes in, holy sh, and just like how do you argue something?
And the amount of times that we were mocked in this video,
Oh, it kept going.
Unreal.
Like right after the female voice mocking you, saying holy sh, it was less than 8 seconds later. What happened? What happened? Something comes in. I touched her.
Yeah, like it flat out said, yeah, I touched her. Excuse me.
And then another one. It was me.
Yeah.
And then Tyler goes, did you touch Emily? Damn right.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like it's fun.
They're like,
and cool.
yes, we did.
Yeah,
Oh, they were so proud of it too. I mean, whatever spirits were there that night were so happy that they did that.
I was happy that it kind of happened.
I'm so glad that you were happy.
Well,
Tyler.
we just had
Yeah.
this discussion
Yeah.
before. Sometimes the evidence that we don't want live like that, like we don't want that to happen to us, but then when we're reviewing it like that is top-notch evidence that like we wanted to get, but not necessarily in the way it happened.
Yeah, nobody wants to be the sacrificial lamb to get that kind of evidence, but sometimes, like, that's the stuff you're going out there trying to catch.
You don't want it to happen to you in the moment, but when you review it, you're like, okay, that was really cool.
I mean, let's be honest, there's a lot of times where we hear stuff come through the SB11 box, or even on EVPs, and sometimes we all hear the same things. Other times we have to sit there and try and figure out what did it really say.
And that's something that we do spend time with. Like,
yeah, we spend a lot of time with that.
When we do our evidence reviews, we review it, we play it a few times, and we write it down in our book. But if it's something that's kind of like a grade B to C EVP, we do spend a little bit more time on it. And as the leaders, when we do the investigation, I think we allow ourselves a little bit more time to have the discussion. Now that we have kind of like our plan, how we do evidence
we have a very streamlined, like,
right.
So this video was what, 17 minutes?
17 minutes total, yeah.
The
4
first
pages of notes.
Yeah, the first time we reviewed this, it took us 3 hours to get through. What was that? What was that? What was that? What was that? I said the first time.
Yeah, it was a lot longer than that.
Yeah, it was
I
like
thought
5
you were
hours.
adding all the time.
No, it was like 5 hours the first time,
Okay.
It was like
and then
5
we
to
did
7 hours.
then we did it with Jesus and Danny, and that was another couple hours. Then everybody we interviewed after that, they all sat and watched, and those were hours on top of that. So we don't just put something down that we think. Like, everybody has their own notebook. We write what we think we heard down, especially if it's a grade B or C EVP.
And a lot of times when we can't agree on it, or we're just absolutely not certain, we're not going to guess.
Right.
And put what we...
So
well,
we'll
you know,
put
it kind of sounds
inaudible
like
down.
mayonnaise to me,
Right.
so we're going to say it says mayonnaise. No, we're going to say inaudible.
Right.
Something came through, but it's inaudible.
Right.
And if you guys ever hear anything that we didn't necessarily get,
Or
put it
see
in the
something
comments.
that we didn't see, put it in the comments.
Oh, absolutely. That's what the comment box
like
is
there was
there
a
for.
couple things we just didn't put anything down, like any captions down in the video, because it's like, well, that could have went 1 of 5 different ways.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have to be honest with what we do, too. We're staring at and watching this evidence hours on end.
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff that might actually slip through the cracks because we're getting fatigued by doing this.
Right.
Somebody watches a video for the first time. Hey, I heard this, and saw this. Well, those were great catches because more eyes
Right.
help.
And we might offer you a position. So, I mean, realistically.
I mean, that's why within the team, it's ourselves, why we encourage our team members to come for evidence reviews, because the more eyes and ears you have on these videos, the better off you have of a chance of catching this
Right.
stuff.
So, I get touched, and we get back into investigation mode, and Tyler wants to play with the ball. That's where things started to really... I mean,
Escalate.
things were already escalated, but this was an exponential level.
Like, downstairs, going up, something happens, ball.
Right, like, it kicked off.
Like, the best thing I can relate it to is, those wind-up flashlights that
Yeah.
don't have batteries in them. You're aiming the flashlight, holding the button down, you're winding it up, it's getting brighter, 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 brighter as you keep trying to wind it up, and then finally it hits full brightness. That's
And
kind
it
of...
just explodes,
Yeah, that's exactly kind of like what it built up to.
Yeah.
Things went gradual, and then right after that
What's
ball hit
odd,
the-
though, is the fact that we were getting different accents upstairs.
And languages.
And languages. That was probably the most interesting part of our investigation. Now, the first one, it was right after I had gotten touched, and it says, "I see you out." And we didn't know who said... Glenn and Tyler fought me. They said, "No, that's you." I was like, "No, I don't sound like that. I don't
Only
have
the
an
out.
accent."
Yeah,
Right.
only the out is what we are.
Right,
Because something
so-
clear, another female voice that was a lot like yours, but had more of an Asian accent
Right.
to it was, "I see you," and then either you say out or both of you say out or something, because we
Right.
do ask for a confirmation. What did that just say? And a few of us say out, and then you follow up with out. But it's just the timing was just.
Hold on. sorry, dog barking.
Yep.
So,
And that just flowed right into
right.
what had been going on at that moment.
Right. So when that ball went down the hallway, and it bounced back, and we started getting an intelligent response, and they were conversing with themselves through the spirit box. But I mean, I don't think it was 10 seconds between everything.
Well, not only that, I mean, even before Tyler decides that he's going to start playing with the ball, something says his name as he's about to throw the ball down the hall. And Danny says something as he's moving. Are you good, or do you have the view? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. And then something mimics him. Fine. Like, mockingly, kind of like joking. Right. Like, I keep referring to that SpongeBob meme where, like, the fucking, the different levels of text and everything.
Yep.
And then that "see you out" comes out. And then within seconds of each other, two different voices say, I hate you.
Yeah, that was deep.
One says, I hate you, and then a deep guttural, I hate you, comes through.
Yeah.
And then somebody asks, what's happening? I don't know, or something. Another voice, it's up to you, Tyler. And then that's when we got the Japanese word, hatsu. And then you gave the definition of that, and it means this is the beginning.
Kind of like just playing it all back, like it told you, and then it's like, I hate you. Because in that realm, there's no time. You could ask a question 10 minutes late, like, so if I were to go, like, can you knock on the table, that could happen an hour later. Because time doesn't pass in their realm.
That's weird, though. I don't like that stuff.
I like it on command. That would be
yeah,
great.
Yeah, exactly, on command. But, like, you know, if you ask something to knock and it's like 2 hours later, you hear something go,
well,
that's
I wouldn't say that.
That's not confirmation for me.
Right.
It's still a weird coincidence. We got a knock at one point with no one up there or where it happened. But
we'll get into that when that video gets released. The one of my favorite hallway videos with the thing, and then there's also some taps.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And anyway,
keep that in this one?
No.
No.
I'm talking about static cameras upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're remembering.
Jesus. So the fact that after that ball hit and it says go get it, then you hear get down.
Oh,
you skipped one thing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I got my notes in front of me. I know you're excited about the
I'm
good
so
parts.
excited, yeah.
That's why we're jumping around. It's like this video had
this
so
happened here, this
much,
was there, this was here, it was
so much good stuff.
And here's the craziest part. There's not that many people that have even a quarter of the evidence that we got on that third floor.
Well, that's what I've been saying to you guys. Like, after so I go into these investigations blind. Since I'm a non-believer, if something happens to me that confirms circumstantial evidence or other things that people have been known to capture in previous investigations or other teams or anything like that, or you two have knowledge of things that have happened, that we kind of use that a little bit as evidence. If I'm coming across something, hearing noises or other things like that, that's kind of like, I'm not aware that these things are supposed to be happening, and the fact that they're happening to me, or and it's a small part of the investigation, but still, it helps us validate that this is stuff that really happens. You don't go in there with the foresight or knowledge of this stuff happening, so you don't go in there looking for it.
Right.
It just happens.
Right.
Which is mainly what we're trying to do, is find different avenues to collect as much evidence as we can in different ways that can kind of validate or back things up one way. I don't like things where we pick up evidence in one stream,
right,
or one particular way. Like having the SB11 box and capturing the stuff on video really helps. Having the SB11 box going and capturing, we're going to get to them, some of the voices that go directly into the camera that aren't coming from the SB11 box. And it doesn't sound like any of us, and it's not one of us. That's just a different way of capturing evidence because we have multiple pieces of equipment running at the same time.
Right.
And then the other part where I was going to talk about the EVP that we kind of sent a teaser for, we watched that video, had a good laugh at me, and then we were like, well, this isn't good. And then we through the next video, we had it on Danny's camera where he's actually aiming right at me, where we have a static camera watching me on the balcony, Danny's camera watching me on a balcony, and then we collect a whole mess of evidence through 3 different streams of equipment.
And that voice only came through on the EVP. Didn't
Yeah.
come through either.
You guys done?
Sorry, the dogs went barking.
So, stuff like that is that's what excites me, is because I wasn't talking. You can see I wasn't talking. You can see there's clearly nobody standing next to me. You can see Danny's far enough away to where he's not going to get picked up, and it heard you clearly ask a question and get a direct response. That's for me. That's the goal that I have, and when I'm collecting evidence.
Just say it.
What? I don't believe. I still don't.
Not yet. But
But what?
you have no explanations for multiple things.
You're
Yeah,
gonna make me say this, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Okay. When the ancient people on Earth had no explanation for something, what did they call it? Magic, godly, divine intervention, or some kind of magic, because they couldn't explain it through science yet. Just because something can't be explained doesn't mean it's definitely something else.
I'm not happy with that answer.
I know you're not happy.
He's just dodging the bullet as long
He
as
is.
he can.
He is. He'll say it
He's
one day.
smiling. He knows
I know.
it.
I know. So,
He's sipping to try and avoid having to say something in response.
It's the truth, though. Science is always... Just because something doesn't give you the answer you're looking for does not mean it's the answer you want. That's one of those bitter pills to swallow.
Glenn, you're the only one with a better pill this one.
I know. That's I'm alone and isolated on this team. I'm the only non-believer.
For now.
well, there's a reason why you're the non-believer
Yeah.
on the team.
I got an uphill battle. Every investigation, every evidence review,
No, I
every
mean,
podcast.
No, we don't. Okay, we don't fight like he says that we fight him. I mean, if it really is not an orb or some kind of voice, then we won't put it out there. You know, I said before, Glenn thought a piece of dust was an orb, and we're like, no, dude, that's definitely dust. So we have no problem being non-judgmental. Like, we're able to be so even road that we can go left or right for right or wrong, or haunted, not haunted, or voice or not voice. So I wouldn't say that we give you like a horrible time. I would just say
I never
that.
said you give me a horrible time.
But we
It's
also, so here's the other thing. We also experience things very differently than Glenn does. So Glenn doesn't have feelings even as a human. We're not even talking about going to an investigation.
I'm like a broken vending machine. The light inside is dead, but I still
You
operate.
gotta keep punching it to get what you want.
Right. So Tyler and I,
Slip a
being
few
as
points
sensitive
in
as
my
we
pocket,
are,
you might get what you want.
yikes. So Tyler and I, being as sensitive as we are, we feel everything, we understand everything, and we get a little nervous by some things because we just don't necessarily want to have energy sucked out of us.
Yeah, that worked well.
Yeah.
I mean, not for nothing. I can't relate to what you guys experience or feel or whatever your senses are telling you, because, well, I guess, what would you say? It's because I'm closed off to all this stuff, or
Well, yeah.
is that why I wouldn't
Yeah, I would
sense
say so.
or whatever?
Well, you also don't believe it. They're not going to try to make you believe.
Well, there were a few times where I got goosebumps, and I you know me, I never get goosebumps. I'm outside in the winter, it could be 5 degrees, I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and I don't get goosebumps.
Can you grab my jacket? It's on the bed, I think.
Get chilly?
Yeah.
Just turn the AC off for a while.
What? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
Tyler. Hit the button. Turn the
What
AC off.
button is it?
He's too far
Oh
away.
my
Just, oh my goodness.
I can't reach over and hit the off.
No, probably not, honestly.
Okay. No, Frankie is not here. So, yeah, that was probably the start and crazy of the rest of the evening. Sometimes people are more perceptive than others. Spirits sometimes avoid certain people. Yeah.
Let me touch back on what we were talking about last week. So the two of you think that you've got, or you actually, can we say that A word?
No.
Okay. So you guys had friends.
Yeah. The type of friends that stay on your couch, never pay rent, and really suck the life out of you through a straw.
But I had a crazy dream where Ava thought that, I had kept something away from me, where I was dreaming that we were in the investigation. I was trying to take pictures of something that kept dodging me, some kind of black mass, and I got fed up with it in my dream. Like, I don't have patience in real life. I sure as don't have patience when I'm trying to sleep. So this thing's dodging me. So I'm like, all right, fine. I've had enough of you. I corner it in the closet, close the door, take a chair, jam it underneath the doorknob, and I walk away. Forget about it. That was the end of the dream.
Asshole. So, oh man, do we go back to the ball and?
Yeah, we can go back to that point.
Hatsu. Yep,
which means the beginning, really.
That was one of the definitions.
Yeah, beginning, pop, or something else. I forgot what the third one was.
It began with a D, I believe.
No.
No?
It was the beginning, the start, and then pop. So, essentially, things were popping off. The beginning was definitely happening. And things were starting to get a bit dicey up on that third floor.
Yeah, this is I think this is when hold on. Yeah, this is when the aggravation started setting in. Not on our end.
Yeah.
On whatever was up there.
So whatever was up there was telling us that we needed to go downstairs, and we were not listening.
Well, and
there's a difference.
Yeah, we didn't hear it in real time. And of course,
they weren't being fair to tell us anything.
And that's what's going to frustrate it too. Is like, do you want us to go downstairs? And then it says, get down, get down, get down 3 times. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3. Then another voice comes through and says, go downstairs. Like, guys, you're not listening. Go downstairs. Get out of here. Then twice after that, female voice comes through. Too late.
Yeah.
Too late.
Yeah. Yup. That was one of the ones that I picked up. It said too late twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
It actually, we only caught the one, but just before that it said it.
Yeah, I noticed that in the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, that was crazy.
Wait, that wasn't when it said too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And then I'm like,
interesting. So we had these spirits, and the only thing that makes sense with how many spirits were actually there was the fact that I think there was a portal of some form between both sides of the house.
Now, what's interesting is I know for a long time we've been talking about this portal theory. Mm-hmm. And it seems to conjugate...
Yeah, just a theory. Like, there's no...
Yeah, there's no hard evidence. It's just a suspicion. It's not anything where we're 100% sure, and nothing has been told to us. This is just a theory that we have about the third floor or multiple locations inside that house.
Yeah, and the reason we keep coming up with that is because, especially, is that in a video where the different voices?
When we go downstairs.
All right, so I'll save that.
The sequel to this one.
Yeah,
picks up right where this one ended.
I'll save that for another time. But there are times where we get conflicting evidence, but it's also as if they're not even aware of themselves, and they're all interacting with us at the same time. Right. And it seems to conjugate right in the center of that hallway. You have the kids' room, that dark room, the corridor, the archway, the corridor again, the 2 rooms off to the right, and the bathroom at the end. The stairwell is right off where that arch is in the middle of the hallway. Mm-hmm. That hallway, almost in its entirety, seems to be incredibly active. And that's where we caught a lot of this SB11 work and the other things that we can't talk about with static cameras yet. But everything seems to have happened in this video, specifically in that hallway. Mm-hmm. Especially some of the other stuff we caught on static cameras that we're going to be releasing at a later date. So back to the get down now and everything. We start getting responses immediately after that. Tyler says something. It says, then leave.
Should we go down? No. I think, do you want us to go downstairs? I think that might have been the too late.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right, because it says go downstairs, like in a hurried voice. I think I was like, I heard that say downstairs, and then
and
you
that's
would
why
say,
I asked.
yeah, you asked, do you want us to leave? And somebody says, too late.
Yeah.
Like you guys have been warned multiple times. Get downstairs, and you're not listening.
Almost like they knew something was coming.
That's where the portal theory comes in,
Right.
because it's kind of like everybody's like watching something through a window or however. I'm trying to envision what it would be like with the responses we got as you see spectators or somebody knows of what happens in this area.
And shortly after that, it says, let her up.
Close. So, after we got the response for too late, it then feeds into then too late, then leave, and it says, I want them out now. Through the SB11 box, which is constantly changing channels, I want them out now.
Yeah.
That's a full sentence that we got out of that device. Then it goes to let her in. I'm actually surprised because I caught the growl that happened here, like a deep.
Yeah.
Let her in. Then somebody asked something. A voice came through. What's going on up here?
Yo, and that
Do
was
whatever.
like right. That voice. What's going on up here was so
Concerned.
Like, what are we doing? Should we be doing this? This is not safe. Kind of a concern. Real quick, everyone in my family is pretty perceptive, frankly included, besides my uncle Wop has never had any weird experiences. It's so odd. Then they said that it sounds like a crossroad. That makes sense. I wouldn't say crossroad.
What, somebody's going to have to explain that definition to me.
Crossroad is more
like
of a
crossroad. Like
yeah,
coming
going
multiple directions.
Yeah.
Passing each other on a plane, essentially.
Okay.
So, like, a road's coming this way, the middle of the intersection is, like, where we were, and everything's coming multiple directions and going.
Explain the difference between that and a portal.
Portal's pretty
It's just
stationed.
a one-way.
Yeah.
One way in,
and
one way out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Highway versus driveway.
Yeah, but I'm trying to understand how the differences between the two would give us different reactions than what we got.
So this Savick says, so they were warning you to leave and someone came up and they got scared? No, I don't think they got scared.
I think they were just kind of concerned.
Well,
Or
definitely,
confused.
like what's going on up here or something like it's kind of like catching your dog eating brownies or something, you know? It's like, what's going on up here? Like, what are you doing, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's like what's like they were surprised that not only they had visitors upstairs, but something
was going on.
I don't know, something something that wasn't thrilled about our presence was trying to let us know.
There was nothing thrilled about our presence there at all.
Like, they've been left
that's safe
alone
to
for
say.
like a whole year. Other than like the owner, there's been nobody in and out of that. So they were like, bro, we were resting.
So
we were chilling.
So do we know if there were no investigations before us for a year, or was it just
Pretty sure 2020 was closed down.
Yeah.
What about 2021?
I don't think there were many investigations, if any, before us.
I think we got in there like right as it was
opening up.
Even so, if there was one or two investigations, they're still not thrilled. They were
right.
So, from my understanding, if let's just say a place is highly active, it's used to having activity or something. Does in any way does that create an effect? And I'm gonna use squirrels here in a park. So squirrels were not used to human activity. We create parks, and then the squirrels are in a park, and there's a lot of human activity. The squirrels start getting used to the humans being there. Then they don't pay the humans any mind. They're just like, it's part of what's going on in my environment. Mm-hmm. Something closes down. We'll use the pandemic for an example. All of a sudden, human activity is no longer prevalent in the park. The squirrels get used to no human activity. Then the humans get reintroduced to the park. Now all the squirrels are in a panic again. Is that the same thing as like what spirits would do? The more human activity there is, you may get less paranormal activity.
I don't
the less
think
human
so.
activity there is, you start
Yeah,
introducing
I
humans.
think,
it kicks up the activity to another.
Well, I think that's why Bill said we couldn't have less than 2 people upstairs at a time, because whatever spirits were up there would just create havoc.
on one person. That's the opposite of what
No,
my
no, no, no,
analogy
no,
was.
no,
But
no. It would create havoc inside the house. Like, it would take weeks for the house to calm down.
okay.
So, actually, yeah, it could be like the squirrels just are ramped up because of all the new activity.
That's kind of
Yeah.
what I'm getting at, because
Yeah.
it was quiet for a while, and we came in there and stirred it
And
up.
like even though like time doesn't pass in like their realm, like it's one like think of it as like one continuous time, like 1 second that's ongoing. I
Right.
guess is the best way to put it.
Okay.
That's a really long second where nothing was really happening. It was just them.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's like, hello.
Okay.
Hello, I'm back.
Okay.
Just bashing through the front door. If that makes sense.
No, I get your analogy. I'm just like, I guess I'm asking questions like kind of like an interviewer in a way, because I'm in a learning process myself, being a person who's coming into this, not really a believer, but I also have an open mind. So the more knowledge I have, learning from the two of you helps me understand future events that we capture
Right.
and evidence that we go into, and circumstances. Was there anything added to the comments, Em?
Saying there's also a place of decision. Then scared for you. So meaning that they were scared regarding our presence being there.
That could be like what's going on up here. You get that loud growl. It knew something
Something was not normal.
something was not happy with us, and it was like, whoa, you guys got to get out of here.
Something
which
was like,
yeah,
like if it's normally like still, something was like causing like friction.
okay,
Well,
fair enough.
So after we pan the camera back and I'm standing next to the child's room, Jesus is next to me to my right, and then Tyler's in front of me. Both Tyler and I react to something in the kids' room. And to this day, I don't know what the heck I reacted to. All I know is that I am
Your spidey senses were going off.
like a main, and I don't know why they were, but both Tyler and I, out of being the two sensitive people in the group, I mean, our heads snapped to the right.
There was a few times that happened.
Right.
Like the both of you almost in sync, where like, you just look over.
It got worse for me after you went down on the landing.
And yeah, well,
So we're gonna
talk
we're gonna talk to that in a minute.
Yep.
So then you hear the spirits again saying, "We're gonna touch her."
Well, hold on. Let's do the sequence here. So, Tyler says, "What happens if we don't go downstairs?" Fall is the response we got. I don't remember what the questions were you were answering, but something said, "I'm trying to touch Emily." What are you gonna do to us? Is what you ask it. It says, "I'll push her." Then it gets immediately after that, "I'll push back."
Because like I was pushing for questions.
You were pushing for information. They're gonna push back against us. Now there's resistance.
Right.
Again, I forgot what the question was about. Something like, what are you going to do to us again? Or what if we don't go downstairs? You were still kind of on that pattern of questions. It says, it comes in very aggressively. "I'll touch her. I'll remove her." Somebody very happily says, "Let's do that."
Yo, that was said, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And that's what that. And at this point, Emily's just minding her own business. You guys have already kind of looked over both of your shoulders, and then all of a sudden she's like, "That's it. I'm done getting touched." She walks downstairs and
you even
leaves.
skipped some things.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
We had the 2 knocks.
Oh well, yeah, knocks.
Oh, yeah.
We had actually the 3 knocks.
Well, hold on. Yeah, no, there's some pieces of it. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I did skip over that. So it says,
we
"Let's do
reacted
that."
to the 3rd one, and then you're like, "I'm done."
Yep.
Bye, Felicia.
Then we actually got like a mischievous laugh at that point.
Oh, a sinister laugh. Yeah.
On camera, not through the SB11 box. It laughed into the camera. And I think at this point, this is where I'm starting to smell something in the air. And
that was before this.
I'm right on the
Okay.
notes right now. And I'm asking it. I'm like, so I'm not trying to be rude, but then anybody fart up here? And something came through the SB11 box. I farted. And then it laughed again. Then you hear on the camera, a third knock. I'm not. Then that's when
I got
touched
I got touched before that because I was like, I'm done, and then it says I'm not.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Like it was telling me, oh, I am not done with you yet. Real quick, hell is technically an afterlife. You said that the spirits were not happy with you being there. Oh, hold on, I missed one. Sorry, I'm not being clear. I'm mildly autistic and sometimes have trouble saying what I mean. Crossroads is mythology, are believed to be places where one can summon the devil. Yes. I don't believe it was a crossroads. Crossroads is an actual physical location for that, though.
They're talking about when you have a crossroads, you put an offering underneath the center of the road.
Yeah, that's a legitimate, like, I'd
that
say
definitely
this,
wasn't there.
Yeah. No. Hell is technically the afterlife. You said the spirits were not happy with you being there and were telling you to leave, implying that something was coming. I have the same instinct when it comes to the paranormal. My house itself is haunted, and I often react to the man in my house.
Interesting.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Was that the end of the comments?
Yeah, that was the end of the comments.
No, that's definitely interesting.
So,
the man in my house.
When I walked down the stairs, I don't remember walking back up. You can see towards the end of the video that I did end up walking up those stairs.
And we called out in the video too, because I remember when we were watching that video, Tyler and I were like, oh no, Emily came back up. Like, we weren't too concerned about it, but when she reviewed the evidence, she's like, I don't remember going back upstairs.
No.
She's like, no, I was talking from the landing, and then we showed you on the video, it captures you upstairs again. You're like, I don't remember going upstairs again. No, I don't,
and I don't remember what happened, but I remember walking down the stairs and then everybody following me down the stairs. Like, that's what I remember.
Yeah, no, so when you walked downstairs, you thought that was the time where we all left downstairs, when really there had been multiple minutes going on.
Yeah. So
you got touched and went goodbye. There was some kind of like cool humming that happened, like something like, you know, like a kid just walked away and stole a cookie from the cookie jar unnoticed. Like they were happy that they did that to you.
Right.
And then somebody says, "I'll take that." She gone.
Yeah, I mean, and they, as I said, they were proud to touch me. They were proud to make me leave. It was like a game for them.
Now, after you went down to the landing, this is where it started focusing on you.
A lot.
You hear a big growl come through, and more laughing.
And wasn't that when I gonna go like this for this, and then I turned back right after the growl?
Yeah. So I think, and the growl happened in the camera. And where was the camera? On this side of you. So you probably heard the growl as it came through because you reacted to it.
I was reacting to a lot that night.
And then all of
it's kind of scary how much I was reacting to everything.
And then I like how it goes, let's hit him. And then a female voice
I'm sure
goes,
you do like that.
Hit him!
That was, it felt like the Three Stooges moment.
Yeah. Hey,
like,
no.
Yeah, like it really, just the way it happened, like that high pitched hit him.
Like it almost felt like them touching you got you to leave. Like let's poke the bear.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that they were planning to go for you next.
Now I'm curious. I know I already asked this question, but so we were downstairs on the second floor. It really wanted you upstairs. Called us all the way upstairs, and then got rid of you. And then went to Tyler. It's like, maybe
there could be multiple reasons. I have been known to have some very vocal guides. And I could put money on it. Actually, I know my grandmother is one of my guides. And if anybody knew Eva Chalfont, let me tell you, that woman didn't stand for a thing. And I can tell you in her afterlife, she does not stand for anything. It very well could have been that my guides were just like, no, we are not doing this.
I also can't help but think that being that you two are sensitive, I thought about this a lot after we had this conversation yesterday. It could have just wanted your energy.
Oh yeah, no, and it sucked the living hell out of energy.
Takes your energy and then kind of gets rid of you.
Yeah.
And then it starts going after Tyler's
Now,
energy.
I will say, after this video, I was done for the night. And I don't mean, like, done, like I was tired and I had to go to sleep. I could not get warm.
Yeah, you were drained. You were actually, like, shivering.
I
put the
had-
thermal gun on you. You were actually pretty warm. Like, the blanket you had over you
So
was
I had
100 degrees.
a pretty decently heavy coat coat on.
Mhm.
I was wearing long jeans, thermal boots.
And then we took you to the front porch, put a space
I had a
heater
blanket
on you.
over me. I had a space heater on me, and I was still shivering, cold.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until Tyler's like, dude, you really need to, like, get out of here. Like, you don't look good at all. I didn't feel good at all. I ended up going and sitting in the car for the rest of the night, and I gotta tell you, I didn't sleep a wink. A wink. I was just trying to just get warm. I don't even know how to explain. It took me like a week to get warm after that. It was a very...
Yeah, we were reviewing evidence and everything. You had the space heater on
yeah.
you. She's sitting here with blankets and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. It was a very rough situation for me after that. So, whatever happened when I left the landing to go back to the 3rd floor, it was like I was on autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember saying or doing anything like that.
So now while it's got its focus on you, I do like the fact that you asked it. What'd you ask? Like something, are you a spirit or are you an angry spirit or something like that?
Are you a mean spirit?
Are you a
Something
mean
along
spirit?
those lines.
I'm not a spirit came through very clearly.
Oh,
We caught
yeah.
that the first time we ever watched that video.
You
I'm
guys
not
are
a
like,
spirit.
what's that? I'm like, oh, I don't know what that said. And I said it, and you're like, I was like, huh. And Emily's like,
Actually,
yeah, it did.
You kind of have that a little reversed. I jumped out of my chair because I was excited. It said it's not a spirit.
Yeah.
And I don't get too excited over much.
No.
Yeah, we know.
As something I guess is dancing around you and playing with you, something else notices that Jesus is going near the door. It says someone else, or I forget what does it say? Something someone else is here, and it picks up him going towards the child's room where Emily got touched. And you know that one part where we actually have it as it sounded like answer, but we really put it in as audible because we couldn't get through really what it was. Well, as Jesus is sitting there using his phone, or he had a device in his hand, it almost sounded like I was listening to it again when I was putting it together. It almost sounded like it said device or something like that. Like it was noticing that he's trying to use something. But I caught that after we had already posted the video.
So, real
That's
quick,
gonna
he
happen.
says, Slavic, it's between a bunch of places. Oh, I already did that. We call the man Noah. He is a tall shadow who can be seen in the near spare bedroom along with rarely downstairs. My mom heard and saw a few weeks ago. About a century ago, the owner of the house hung himself here.
Oh, wow.
He's always protected me, though. Also, there's a huge lag between what I say and when you can see it. Noah is here right now. I can feel him.
Oh yeah. Well, just to touch base on the lag between when we see your comments coming up. We're just getting caught in the moment of what we're talking about. We're promise we're not ignoring you. We're just it's hard after we get through all this stuff. We're so excited about what we're talking about. So please don't take that as we're ignoring you or there's a terrible lag. I am monitoring our feed over here because last week we had an issue where the screen had blinked and for some reason it cut all of our live feeds.
Right.
I'm just trying to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Right.
But please keep adding to the story. We'd love to hear more about Noah as well while we're discussing this investigation. Because that's part of why we do these live events is so that we can interact with people.
Right. So, obviously Tyler is now having a good time with his spirits because they're... No, you don't want to call it a good time? You weren't having a good time? Okay.
I thought he was having fun.
I thought he was having fun as well.
Honestly, I was because I didn't know I was saying any of that.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, at that time, it was a little...
It was cool.
Yeah.
I am gonna add the stark contrast between how happy you were to go upstairs from the second
And then
floor.
how
Yeah.
pushy I was to get off of the floor.
Yes. But we will get into
Two
that.
different moods.
We'll get to that in a few minutes here.
You ever go to a party and it just feels like you never should have went? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even when you were invited.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were invited upstairs.
Oh, yes, we were.
Should we come
I
upstairs?
wanted the party too.
Mm-hmm.
Party time all the time.
All
So
right, so
17 minutes.
we just did an hour in. I say we take a quick break, and then we'll jump right back.
Yep. Oh, let's touch
right. Thank you so much. We just had to take a step away real quick just to get ourselves back together.
Bio break, drinks.
We
Good
did.
stuff.
So if anybody had any comments during the break, unfortunately we lost them when we did the start over. So if you have any comments, questions, or anything like that, go ahead and pop them back in for us. But we can go back to Tyler having a great time in the dark room.
Yeah, he was having fun upstairs.
Dark room wasn't bad.
Yeah, surprisingly, so the dark room was weird. The dark room was dark. And it shouldn't have been, right? Like, you have 2 windows, and then there's light in both windows. But it just seemed ominous, I guess is the best word for us to use for that. And it wasn't like anything bad happened in there either. It was
It's
just...
not like we caught any crazy evidence in there or anything like that.
Right. Like, it was just incredibly dark. And not dark, I'm not trying to be, like, candid with my words. It was just dark. Which is odd, considering we got so much more evidence in actually what should have been the darkest room.
Not for nothing, that's why I keep reverting back to that hallway.
Right.
Once we kind of left the hallway or left the room or something like that, it's like as you branch a little bit further from that hallway, things got less active.
Right.
But when you're back in that hallway, it peaked again.
Right. And it was... Well, that's what makes me believe there's some kind of a portal there, because it just was super popping right then and there.
Strong activity.
Strong. Yeah. That's the best way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't remember going back upstairs, but apparently I did. And I don't remember it. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
While you were in that room, you did get a response of hello, because you were asking questions, and it said hello. It said something, and zoned out Emily said, "Did you say Zoe?"
Which is weird, because why would I come up with a name that wasn't even said?
Well, I'm going to go back to that basement video. I didn't watch it today, but I'm almost certain something came through the spirit box, and it sounded like Zoe to you, and you said Zoe downstairs. So that name might have been resonating with you since you thought you previously heard it again. You were going to say, well, let's try and make a connection here.
True.
I heard Zoe earlier. Maybe it's upstairs. But actually it came through and said Emily again. Like, hey, Emily's back.
Sorry. I was just...
and then another response says, you can leave now.
Yeah, that was...
As Tyler's coming out of that room, getting back in the hallway... You said, again, you asked another question and said, yeah, it's me. And then it got your favorite response. The one that made you like, all right.
Pack it up.
Wrap it up. Let's get out of here.
The only thing to ever make me
Tapped
stutter.
out.
Yeah.
Tapped out.
And I stuttered.
And you were the only one who had heard that in real time.
Oh, and I heard it. Boy, did I hear that.
So if you've not seen the video, it says, you're gonna die.
Yep.
And Tyler's like, what?
And it's
Didn't
like,
hear any other thing that
No.
was mean, but that was...
Yeah.
and it was like, I've had enough of this guy's crap. You're gonna die.
I mean, realistically, they're right. We're gonna die at some point, but I think Tyler's like, I'm not dying right now.
No.
Like,
So then-
we're not doing that today.
I think you were asking us collectively, did that just say what I think it did?
Yeah.
Immediately you got a response, it did. I thought I said something that I thought it said
Anytime.
differently.
And again, I don't even remember Tyler saying any of this because I was on the landing
But
for
then
what
again,
I know.
anytime and you're gonna die are near rhymes. So I clearly heard something with you.
Mm-hmm.
You just heard it more clearly than I did.
Yeah.
I asked.
Yes, I did.
So you asked, did it say what I think it did? You got a response, it did. And I said, I heard anytime. It didn't. So if something's like right there confirming, it's like in a conversation with us.
Right.
Like I did.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn today.
Yep.
Kevin hearted me.
Now, as you guys were walking down, and I, at this point, snapped back to reality. Oop, there goes Rabbit. Sorry, that's a M&M
Yep.
pun. As I snap back to reality, and I start walking down the stairs with everybody,
Nope, there goes gravity. Sorry.
we capture a disembodied eye staring at us as we're walking down. I'm getting goosebumps even just saying this. Because there is no way. And we sat for a good 20 minutes trying to debunk what that light was.
Oh, sure.
Oh, we raised the brightness. We lowered the brightness. We did everything that we could under the sun to try to disprove or be like, oh my God, this was a light. It was this. It was reflecting. And even after watching the video, after we posted it, we thought it was like the lock to the attic. That attic lock was way past where that light was. And it was recessed in the ceiling.
It wasn't even visible.
It wasn't even visible.
Okay, so at that angle,
no,
you can see...
no, you can't even... You can see the trim,
Hold on.
but you can't see the lock to
In a perfect bright day, you'd be able to see up in there. At that time of night, you wouldn't be able to see up in there. But it also wouldn't have been a reflection off the lock because my shadow blocks out the IR, and that thing was still very bright over my shoulder.
Ooh, so bright. So bright. And it was like staring at us. Like, I don't know if I can get my eye in a frame or anything.
Kiddo, you gotta leave this
No,
alone.
I can't. I'm not even going to try. But it was just like peeking through. Like the whole eye was covered. And it was just watching us walk down the stairs. And I don't even know how to explain that. That was...
And you can see clear as day. We got the SRI hats on and everything like that. Those reflect the IR just nice and bright. If the light blocks that out, they go dim. This thing stayed just as bright whether the IR light was on it or if it was off of it.
Yeah.
Now, what also makes this part intriguing, I'm going to give a little hint to leave people excited, was when we go downstairs, and I don't know if this part's on video, I think because we were going to take a break, and once everyone got into the room, the music box was played behind us, and I turned around and I was like, don't move. I put my arm up blocking everybody in that room, and that will be the next video, and it picks up right when we get downstairs.
Give me 1 second. Come here, bud. Give that to me. You're a good boy. You gotta go play with that outside.
He's gonna bring him right back in.
Our 7-month-old puppy is still puppy, so I'm sure one of you in this audience gets that. Golly, that was a very odd moment because I remember the first time we caught it. I mean, I gasped. I didn't know what else to do. I mean, that was ominous. That was definitely like I told you to. Yeah.
I'm in a losing battle.
Yeah, you are.
He's like, play.
You
brought it outside. I bring it in.
I was just saying to Tyler, like when we first noticed that was an eye, and that was recently that we noticed it was an eye during one of our actual last views of that video.
Yeah, we always knew there was something shiny back there, but we just couldn't put a... I'm not with you guys in calling it an eye. It's still an anomaly that we can't place on it, but it's just...
I'm only saying it's an eye because that's what I would feel would be at that height and that bright.
Okay.
Right? It could be anything. It really could.
And we know for certain there's nothing up there that's illuminated, no light or anything that's right in that hallway, because we were up in that hallway all night. I'm also going to add a caveat to that. We had the laser grid still active. Yeah, some parts in the videos you can still see the laser grid on the wall if the camera's aimed at it. But as we're all going downstairs, Danny gives one last look up in that hallway with the camera. You don't see any of the laser grid on the wall. So that one dot was not part of the laser grid.
And that dot was way too big to be a part of the laser grid.
And it was long.
Yeah, it was elongated. The only way it could be elongated is if there was some kind of angle there that the laser was just riding down. But that wasn't an angled instance. That was right up tucked in the corner of either the door jamb or right behind it.
Yeah. It was very weird.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole video, we've been waiting to launch this video because this has been our most captivating video yet. And again, I don't think anybody has even gotten the amount of evidence that we have from the Selma Mansion. And the people who own the Selma Mansion are paranormal investigators. I don't even think their evidence, for as long as they've owned it, has ever really held a candle to what we've done.
Yeah, I'm not certain.
I haven't even seen anything they've done.
I didn't get a chance to tell you guys this, but this morning I did message Selma Mansion and sent him this video, and I said, hey, Bill, actually I could read it out to you right now, too.
That would be something you share with your co-leaders.
Yeah.
Right?
So I did it this morning and got caught up immediately with estimate reviews, so I'm sorry about that. So good morning, Bill. We wanted to share our most compelling video with you for the Selma Mansion. Even I, as a skeptic, had a difficult time trying to debunk the series of events that we kept encountering here. We'd feel you'd be interested to see what our investigation caught on the third floor, and he responded, TY, for thank you.
There's a lot more than thank you for that. Like, oh my gosh, guys, this is incredible. Something. Because that's how we feel. That is exactly how we feel for this investigation.
That's how we feel. But also, if we owned a house and we had how many investigators come in there and claim that they caught something constantly,
right.
He's probably like, yeah, I've seen this 100 times or something like that.
Well, maybe he personally did.
Yeah,
we don't know what he's experienced because I respect him for not telling us because we wanted to not, be baited into. Oh yeah, no, we agree with you.
We still would have been blown out of the water if we knew.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Tyler and I stumbled across a web page today. So I was on Amazon just scrolling around as I was eating a very late lunch today, and something popped up. It was called the Blackwell Ghost. And I was like, so that's weird. Nothing ever really comes up like that for me because I don't watch shit like that, stuff like that. So,
we use a lot of sentence enhancers.
Yeah, I've been good. So I click on it. I start watching it. Tyler starts walking through the doors. I'm watching this, and we watched the entire documentary. It was like an hour long, and then we just started Googling where this place was in PA, and a Wikipedia page comes up for. What was it? It was
Pennsylvania haunted locations. Like haunted locations in Pennsylvania. Something.
There was another, possible haunted locations in PA. I'm sure there was a different name for it.
Mm-hmm.
And Selma Mansion pops up, and it says known for voices. Yeah. And I was like, can confirm. No I can 110% confirm with you today. Today, I will tell you the Selma Mansion has a crap ton of EVPs.
We have about 45 minutes of voices.
Yeah. I would, without a shadow of a doubt, tell you that there are disembodied voices at the Selma Mansion.
So I just have to ask this. I've always relayed EVPs just to being through the recorder, but are SB11 voices considered EVPs?
Anything that's electronically given.
I know what it stands for. It's electronic voice phone. I just didn't know if there was a different classification for SB11. Mm-mm. Okay.
No, I'm still considered EVP. I would, without a shadow of a doubt, say that there is disembodied voices at the Selma Mansion.
Well, because there's a few that we still have yet to release that we still caught as far as EVPs go.
Yeah.
Within the first 20 minutes, there's something to share.
Oh yeah. Well, we did the basement video already. Oh no, not the one where.
Yeah, not that part of the basement.
No, we did when we first did the EVP and the orb popped up behind me.
Oh, okay.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have another one.
That started because I was walking out of that furnace room, and something in my right ear says, "Help." What? Okay, how can I help you today? Of course, the customer service Emily comes in, and we're like, how may I help? Glenn runs upstairs, grabs the EVP. We have the conversation, and it is.
And I'm the skeptic. I told you guys we should have had an EVP with us.
Right.
I'm running upstairs.
I mean, to be fair, we were just doing the walkthrough, and
I just wanted to get a feel for the place. At that
and
point.
we got a feel of it.
I wasn't focused on recording anything.
Little did you know the place was getting a feel for us.
Right. Oh yeah, it did.
Hey, right, it did.
Yeah, it did.
Well, I'm talking about the one we have yet to release on the third floor.
I know what you're talking about.
So, Yeah, that night was one for the books.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Easy for me to say, right? Because I wasn't touched or being poked at or whatever.
Listen,
That'll happen.
one day, something is going to break through you. And it is going to touch you in the most inappropriate way, and I cannot wait for that.
Like, Tyler, oh, wait a minute.
I'm looking forward to the times where it's me, a camcorder, an EVP, and I'm alone in a room somewhere.
That's when it's going to happen.
Good, that's when it should happen.
Next week.
Yeah.
Yes, our next investigation, for those of you who don't know, is June 12th.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to Grapevine Farms in Cobleskill, New York. We shall see what's going on. If anybody knows of a camera person, we are desperately trying to find one so that all of our main team members can be on the camera. So,
We'll make it work.
if not,
One
we
way or
just
another.
make it work. That's just what it's going to be.
Yep.
I don't know. What other thoughts do you guys have on the investigation, like, for that video? I mean, I think it lived up to the hype that we've been talking about it with.
Oh,
I think it precedes its reputation, actually.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. I really could. I just...
It's literally everything.
Because, but we're
Getting touched.
Yeah.
And telling us it was going to do it.
yeah. I mean, so what is the peak evidence that you can really capture in an investigation? EVPs,
Intelligent EVPs.
intelligent EVPs, contact of some sort.
I mean, a full-bodied apparition would be phenomenal, but...
No, well, yeah, but we did get some kind of video evidence with the orbs downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Pictures with a full body apparition.
Basement video. We've already shared one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, Selma hit it. Every category that we would want to hit in an investigation.
Well, I'm sure there's a few more
She came out.
categories.
Just a few more.
Yeah,
A few more.
a few more yet to be released too.
Right. But as of right now, I think we've hit a plethora of checks in a box.
Mhm.
Right? Like, it's...
I feel like there's not too many people who go into investigation to get something on every piece
Right.
bagel.
Right.
Not that I would be let down, but after having like the evidence that we call in the Selma Mansion, it kind of be like, if we ever go on an investigation, we catch like 4 or 5 things, you're gonna be like, well, that's still interesting. It's kind of like the bar keeps getting set higher and higher. We had the cemetery investigation.
Well, we also have to realize that we will not be getting evidence every single time we go someplace.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely certain.
I want evidence every time we go someplace. Let me just put that out in the universe.
That's
real quick.
absolutely certain. Like that's
Right?
my
Like,
response to
I
Louise.
want evidence every time we go out. But I'm also very realistic of what can actually happen. And there's a good possibility that the spirit world might just not be interested in having a conversation with us at that point in time at that location.
And I think you had mentioned at one point, and you backed him up on this, is a lot of times it's timing.
Yeah.
It's fishing.
Right time, right
Yep.
place. Yeah, fishing.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's all about fishing. We're not catching, we're fishing.
Yep.
I mean, Selma Mansion, we caught a lot. We literally were shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah, it's like
Wasn't the week after that was the full moon?
The Tuesday
the big
after.
full moon?
The Tuesday after our Saturday investigation.
I can't help but wonder if that played a
Absolutely it does.
Okay.
Actually, let's take a look at a thing.
Wasn't it a pink moon too?
That's what I
It
just
was
said.
a
It was a pink.
brutal
It
moon.
was a pink
Yeah.
moon.
well,
Tyler could sleep,
I couldn't either.
and then he had a friend hugging him for a week.
I'm thinking there's more to that whole not sleeping thing than we realized.
Yeah,
But
it certainly was a series of events.
Series of yes.
That's really the best way to put it. There's a series of events. Investigation, pink moon, really tied close to each other. You couldn't get warm for a week.
Like a full week, guys.
So-
Like I just couldn't.
This investigation's literally gonna fall directly between 2 full moons. May 26th and June 24th.
So we're
Literally right in the middle.
So it's going to be it should be interesting.
the 12th and the 24th. I mean, those are 8 days apart. 12 to 24.
That's 12.
No, or
That's
20. Yeah, okay. 12.
Wow.
I'm the one that's bad at math.
Wow.
This is why he's an estimator. He
It's
estimates.
about 8 days. Give or take 4 in
Give or
each
take.
direction.
It's still about 8 days.
8 days is in there.
When was our July investigation?
17th.
July 23rd. August. We're waiting on, right?
We're waiting
No.
on August
September 11th.
11th.
The 20th.
Oof. Okay.
It's Burn Bray.
Oh, and then the October is Knickerbocker.
That's the 16th.
Yeah.
That full moon's on the 20th.
Oh boy.
Wow, we scheduled these like pretty as close as we could with getting weekends.
And not for nothing, we weren't scheduling these investigations around full moons either, by the way. We were just booking by availability.
by middle of the month and
if
availability.
that isn't a telltale sign, like
That's weird.
When's the Conjuring House?
I'm really disappointed in this one. November 19th.
And we're
That's a
after
week.
that. Okay.
Uh-huh.
A week. That's still pretty close. That full moon hits at 3:58.
Well, you're getting excited about being within 12 days, so a week is less than 12 days.
Right.
That's at 3:58 a.m. Right at the end of witching hour on the 19th. At the Conjuring House.
Lord,
On Black Friday.
protect me.
Oh man, this is awesome.
Conjuring House is going to be exciting.
I
No?
think it's going to be exciting for you guys.
Yeah, the April 26th was the full moon.
Yeah.
So that's like a week later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Let's see.
Go bark.
Well, I think at this point we're going to wrap up for the night.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to all of our viewers for checking us out. If you have not subscribed to any of our channels, you can go to our website, www.spectralrealminvestigators.net, and check our links out from there.
Yep.
And again, if you've not watched our video, we highly suggest you go watch and leave us a comment. If you see something or hear something that we didn't catch, we'd love to have a discussion with you about it in our comment section.
Yep.
So you gentlemen and ladies and all of the fair folk here on our podcasts and lives, have a great evening, and we will see you next week.
Yep. Sounds good.
Bye, guys.